like, subscribe, and leave a comment. So, the main event of Ring of Fire, Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury for all the marbles, for all the 4 belts. I can't remember the name of all the belts. IBF, WBC, WBA, all the belts in Riyadh season. This was like the pinnacle of the whole season, I'd say. Obviously, you had Fury versus Ngannou. Then you had AJ fighting as well. Then you had AJ, Ngannou, and then you had this. This was like the pinnacle for me. This was the fight I wanted to see. One thing I will definitely say, compared to a UFC fight, to a boxing fight, from the co-main event to the main event, it took nearly an hour for that to happen. You had different, obviously, shout out to the Sheik, putting if it wasn't for him, none of this will be happening. So he has to get props. We have to shout out to the Sheik, because for him, funding all of this, none of this would happen. We'd see none of these fights. This fight would have happened about 4 years in the future, but it's happening now because of the Sheik. So we have to give him props for that. But from the co-main event to the main event, I timed it. It was about nearly 47 minutes before they actually got in the ring. Obviously, you had the show, the videos, the performance, the rap performance. It was a long time. Now, with UFC, you go for one fight, a little bit of intermission, then into another fight. So, yeah, it was a bit long. But anyway, let's get to the fight. It sort of went how I thought it would go. I think that's how I thought it would go. Usyk would be pressuring, and Tyson Fury would be using his jab and on sort of using lateral movement and on his bike sort of. I think Tyson Fury did a bit too much showboating in places. I think he didn't need to do it. I think this fight here, the magnitude of the fight, top level, all the belts on the line, I think you have got to. I think you have to be fully dialed in. But maybe that's just how he does it. Maybe he just, in these top pressure, that's a way of him just taking the pressure off himself potentially. But I thought like Usyk was just tunnel vision, like he's at war, and Tyson Fury was obviously making a bit of a game of it, which was fine. It made for some theatrics, I should say. The fight itself, the first half of it went how I thought the whole fight was going to go. That was sort of tied. I gave most of it to the first half, most of it to Tyson Fury. He was leading with a jab, and he started to work on that body. The body shots was affecting Usyk. There was a time where I thought he could have dropped him. He was about to go. He was about to take a knee on those body shots at times, because he was even disputing it. But I think all the body shots were legal that Tyson Fury was landing. So the body shots was getting through in Usyk, and if he would have stuck to that, he probably could have dropped him. But later on, Usyk sort of switched up his style. He sort of came more aggressive, looking for Tyson on the brakes. Every time he'd break off, he'd pressure him into the corner. It's just like fascinating to see the big man get pressured into the corner by the smaller guy, and just literally let rip in the corner. Those corner exchanges where Tyson Fury is in the corner and then Usyk's just going off on him is very dangerous, because even though he's using the head movement, which is great, he's got his arms around doing that, that's great, and he tees off, he usually lands with the left or the right on the break. He can still get caught, because there's a lot of punches going. A lot of punches going there from Usyk. Usyk is the best in the world for a reason. So it's just not a good position to be in. I thought him being against the rope wasn't a good thing for Tyson Fury. He should have just established his jab and the body shots, what he was doing. If he'd have stuck to that, I reckon he would have won the fight. But, so I had to about the 6th round. I had till round 9. I sort of had Tyson Fury in the lead. I had him in the lead. I had him winning by about 2 rounds, something like that. Then basically what happened was, when Fury got hit and he got dropped in the 9th, I think it was the 9th round. So up until that point, I sort of had Fury in the lead. When he got dropped, it was really bad, because I had Tyson Fury winning. If he didn't get dropped, this would have been an easier decision, and I would have given it to Tyson Fury. Because he got dropped, obviously the points, it goes from a 10-9 or a 10-10 to a 10-8. So he drops 2 points, obviously. And the round after that, he didn't recover. He didn't recover. He didn't see him himself fully. And obviously, Usyk was trying to get him out of there as well on top of that. So it was just like, there were definitely 2 rounds to Usyk. You got the knockdown, which is a 10-8, and you got the round after that gave to Usyk as well. Then Tyson Fury started coming back a little bit in the other rounds, and then Usyk, I think, may have stole the last one potentially. Really good fight though, really good fight. I'm not really calling a robbery. I was just saying if Tyson Fury probably didn't get knocked down, he probably would have won that. The knockdown did, I'd say, probably sway the judges' opinion. Probably, that's what I probably think. But it was a really good fight. I'm not calling a robbery. I haven't seen anybody say it's a robbery. But it was a pretty close fight. But I think the knockdown, and the round after that sort of did it in for Tyson, I'm afraid. Tyson Fury is saying Usyk only got the win because of what's happening in Ukraine. It's down to everyone's individual opinion. But yeah, really good fight. It is what it is. Congratulations to Usyk. He is the champion. He is the undisputed heavyweight champion. That's that. And it looks like they're going to do a rematch in October. So we'll see what happens. But if Tyson Fury would have stuck to the body shots and stuck to how he was fighting in the first half, he would have won this fight. But because he got caught, he let himself get backed into the corner, and then Usyk just caught him. It was just, you just can't let yourself get backed into the corner with Usyk. He's a dangerous guy. I think that's something Tyson Fury probably needs to work on, just establishing himself and keeping the jab and the body shots. If he would have stayed like that, it would have been a clean sweep. But because the knockdown and the round after that, I think he lost. And then the other rounds are a bit disputed. You don't know. Plus the judges, you just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. So congratulations to the heavyweight champion, the undisputed heavyweight champion, Oleksandr Usyk.